Baby, we have got to have a little ponderosa today. So we're going to be combining two stories today for those of you guys who are tapped in and tuned in this morning. Okay, I am here in my hoodie. It's snowing outside. Well, it was snowing outside. It is crazy. And your boy has to go down to Fox 5 this morning to do Like It or Not here on Fox 5 DC. It'll be on at 11 a.m. I believe we'll be talking to Ashley Darby. So I'm definitely going to be asking about this if I can, okay? Because I know that this could be a little triggering. You know what I'm saying? But before we get into that, I will also, be talking about, pop culture news, entertainment news, all that kind of stuff like that. Also, I will be on the Carlos King podcast as well today, and we will be talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta and the casting dilemma. So make sure you guys are tuned in, tapped in for that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and break down the tea. So after Sunday night's episode of the Real Housewives of Potomac, you guys know that in our recap, we talked about how the ladies talked about their experiences with intimate assault, right? And, after the episode, I talked to you guys about how startling it was to really sit back and think about how sad it is that this happens to so many women. And I believe it probably happens to men as well. But we hear about it a lot more with women. And I think that it's just, I talked about how saddening it was. But, Candiace, she was triggered by something, I guess, that maybe Gizelle said or did during the episode. And she had a lot to say on the Twitter. So let's break it on down. Break it on down. Candiace tweeted and said, "It's triggering to watch a woman who accused someone of intimate assault speaking about the intimate assault. I'm tired, okay? I'm actually very tired." A thread, okay? So she doesn't name Gizelle by name, but I think we can all infer who she may be potentially speaking about, right? So she says, full context, I haven't seen the episode yet, but I saw the clip of some of us speaking about our experiences with SA, okay? I'm grateful to those in our friend group who were courageous enough to share their story. I also read some of the comments, and as horrifying and embarrassing and frightening as it can be to talk about your own experience, I'm grateful that based on the comments I've read, that shattering the silence can liberate some of you, right? Which I also think is quite amazing. So I do agree with her on this point. She says, it's also liberating for me to know that I'm not an alien in my personal story of what happened to me. So thank you. It actually, I just got like some goosebumps just even thinking about just what it may be like to have to recall that experience. She goes on to say, people who manipulate words and blatantly misuse the English language to insinuate that anyone can intimately assault them is criminal. Quote, he made me go into a hotel room. Yet another iteration of her SA insinuations that she would now sit and speak as if she is an advocate for SA awareness is morally corrupt and criminal. I'm triggered and I'm tired. I'm tired and I'm not allowing it to slide or slip through the cracks. All right. So there's been a lot of discourse online about this very tweet thread right here with people on both sides of the aisle. Some people feel, as one commenter felt like Gizelle never accused him of that. She said she was uncomfortable. Candiace really needs to stop. Another commenter said, to see anyone say she's dragging this, let's see how you feel when your coworker basically accuses your significant other of misconduct using thinly veiled buzzwords and then double down on, well, triple down on it and see how you feel. All Gizelle had to say was, I didn't want to be alone in the room. He didn't do anything or say anything. That's just my personal preference. But no, she turned it into this nefarious thing, and that's truly nasty work. So as you guys can see, people are really split down the middle on this. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. This is one of those gray areas for me where I feel very, very uncomfortable because I think of the insinuation that it's a gray area for me. It's really a gray area for me. and it's one in which I ask as a man, um, who has never been on the receiving end of something like that, do I even have the right to speak about it? So you guys let me know in the comment section down below. I try to be sensitive when it comes to stuff like this because I don't want to step on, diminish, or anyone's experiences and how they feel about an instance with what my thoughts are, and I'm not fully. It hasn't happened to me, so I have to take a real hard step and say, what is this that we're seeing? And what do you guys think? Especially for those of you guys who have had experience with this. So I'm just trying to be sensitive to that. All right. So now that we've beat that horse, let's talk about Basketball Wives, the season 11 reunion. Okay. Now, did you tune in, tap into it last night? Y'all let me know in the chatterization down below. As with these current seasons of Basketball Wives, it seems we only get that one reunion slide. I guess they say, we ain't gonna pay y'all that much. But I am glad that they didn't make us wait a whole 11A and 11B to give us this reunion. I would rather have a one episode reunion and we can get down to the nitty, to the gritty, and cut the fat and get what we need to get. And so for that, I have to applaud them for a succinct reunion. Actually, the reunion was much better than the back half of the season, to be quite honest with you, because it at least brought back some of the girls who had quit halfway through, or who had, just weren't as much a part of the equation, right? So for that, I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5. I wasn't mad at it. I felt like they did what they could. I think that it would have done well for Vanessa to have been there, but I do understand and I do respect someone who says this is not for me and they get out of it, right? Because I am a firm believer in never staying in places where you feel like you are no longer welcome or belong, for your own mental sanity, because that to me has to always come first. I'm going to always be an advocate for that. So for that, and Vanessa's a Cancer, so I understand some of the mindset in that, because my spirit just don't allow me to go near certain people. It just don't. I just can't. My close friends know. I need to know who all over there first before I sign on the dotted line that I'm coming. Typically, 9 times out of 10, unless I trust the people, unless I know who you're gonna already probably invite, right? But if I'm uncertain, I need to know who all gonna be there, okay? Because I ain't trying to ruin my spirits with, or as Jackie Christie say, the fairies, with um being someplace where I don't feel like I'm mentally, emotionally safe or spiritually safe. Okay, that's just me, right? I ain't perfect. I'm just trying to protect my energy. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Anyway, but however, coming out orc, I do feel like there is something to be said for. There's something that Evelyn mentioned, and she's talked about it in this respect, that the newbies came onto the scene real hot, and then it seemed like they fizzled fast, with the exception of Cleana. Okay, I told y'all Cleana came to fight. Cleana came to stand 10 toes down on business, whether she had a wig or not. Okay, and I have to say, whether you like Cleana or not, I can respect that she came in hot. She stayed hot. She's still hot. And she still showed up. Okay. So there's another aspect of this that I do see, right? Whereas I do feel like Vanessa came in hot. I feel like Britney came in hot from what we know now with the Jackie incident at the first Ponderosa. I feel like Britney, to me, was my biggest disappointment because she fizzled out real fast. And I felt like I had high hopes for her. Okay. But however, we'll talk about Britney a little more because she's a little interesting to me. Okay. And I just got to be real about that. I like her, but she's interesting. And so we'll get into it more. All right. So at the beginning, right off the rip, we go through the dressing room. Y'all know I love a get ready with me moment. So I'm always here for the behind the scenes on that. I don't know why no show has actually taken advantage of the get ready with me aspect of it. They kind of did a little something on social media, but I felt like, as I've stated before, it could be a great brand integration to have, okay, we're gonna have a stylist working on this. The stylist will get, I mean, we could pay the stylist or whatever. And obviously, all black, you don't really need a stylist, to be honest with you. And that's what they did. Um, I'm gonna leave it at that. But what I will say is, the gowns could be donated and they can be, you know what I'm saying? It could be a brand integration where we are actually highlighting the brand, the fashion designer, or working with unknown designers, whatever the case may be. Patch it up with a Project Runway type show or something like that. I know this is a different network, but I'm just saying there's opportunity there to create something on as a digital extra. Slap that thing up on YouTube, slap it up on the social media, and monetize the mess out of that thing, right? Easy. I'm always about giving people more content. Give them more. People want more. It is. Whether they like it or not, they want more. I tell you, I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, John Sally is back. If I had to rate him as a host, personally, I won't, okay? Because I just don't feel like I don't feel like he did to ask the questions that I want to know, okay? And I don't feel like there was something he did that really irked my spirits, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute because I wrote it in my notes. All right, John Sally's back. We start with the 5 remaining wives, okay? And Vanessa is unable to participate, and apparently Cleana wasn't ready, and Britney didn't want to come out without her girl. Okay, so here's my thought: was it that when Vanessa didn't show, they was like, "Uh-oh, somebody called Cleana," and so that's why she wasn't ready? I don't know. Could be. Anyway, even John acknowledged that, though, the interesting thing about this season was there was more smoke and fire and brimstone going on offline than it was on the show. It was. Okay. Ev's packages up first. She talked about how she went back and forth about returning and how the show is her baby along with everybody else's on the stage. Jackie over there rolling her eyes severely. Okay. And Jackie reveals that she and Jennifer were not happy about Evelyn coming back because Ev went on Bravo Andy and gave them the thumbs down. I need to go back and watch that episode because Evelyn says that's not truthful. But I felt like I do remember something about that. And so I just have to, I don't know. I really don't know. Did she give it a thumbs down because she wasn't there? And then wouldn't that still be insulting to Shaunie? Like, I cannot recall. But I don't feel like Jackie's making that up. I do also believe that Jennifer was probably unhappy as well, or at least unhappy that Evelyn did that. So it's interesting to see or to think about the behind the scenes conversations, because those behind the scene conversations are coming to the forefront in this at the end of this season. So Ed says it's not truthful, and then she turns on Jackie and says that Jackie talks about people behind their backs when their backs are turned. Now, I do believe that part to be true as well, because it's just been confirmed by too many people. British, Brooke, Evelyn, like it just kind of reeks of there's something there. It could be a situation where they all talking, and it just so happens that maybe either Jackie said the worst things, they were setting Jackie up, or they just took out what Jackie said and left out what they said. Okay. Jackie says that she promised the fairies that she would be what fairies? What fairies? That she'd be good, and that Ev is just jealous of her for being married, of her life, of her businesses. Okay. And I mean, Jackie is the only married wife on there at this point in time. Okay. Well, to a basketball player, I should say. Gizelle, I mean, could be up next because we know that she is, I believe, engaged. So, anyway, Ev says that Jackie doesn't want anyone to reveal the real reason why their marriage still works, or talk about the trainer that Jackie was bumping and grinding on the cast trip. Is it me? Or okay, I can't do or is she implying open marriage? Do what you want, do what you want. Or is she applying what is she implying? I'm quite unclear about it, and I want if you're gonna drop a bomb, she dropped a bomb on me. If she's gonna drop that bomb on me, baby, I'm gonna need for her to go ahead and let me know the whole story. And who is this trainer? Okay, where did he come from? I thought Vanessa was her trainer, based on the season. Anyway, I cannot see Jackie boot scooting and boogieing with a trainer, but stranger things have happened. So Jackie denies this and says Basketball Wives is her platform, and everyone is there because of her. Ooh, is that shade, Jackie? To the Shaunie? Truth be told, this show would not work as well without Jackie. I think she knows that. But there does become a problem when the HBIC in charge really starts to believe she's in charge of the girls, and the real people in charge lay the smack down and say, we could do this without you, girl. We've seen it happen across a plenty of franchises. Chime down in the chat if you can name a few. Okay. Brooke says it's no, they are there because of Shaunie. Ev says that she wouldn't be sitting there if it wasn't for the Miami wives, and things got heated as Jackie gets ready to take off her shoes. This is the first time she's about to take off her shoes and warns security not to come over. John asked Gizelle what she thinks, and she's a bit shell-shocked that things are blowing up, and I don't think that she knew. I don't think Gizelle knew this is the real show, okay? This is the real show. Taking off shoes, taking off earrings, okay? But now that we know what we know, they ain't gonna do nothing. They posturing. Ain't neither one of these ladies, Jackie nor Evelyn, about to fight each other. I mean, they might be throwing words back and forth, but production has already said that that's a no-no, as we will learn later on from Cleana, which is interesting. But I don't believe that they're gonna do anything. I also think that they know that arguing with Jackie is a way to create good television. I do. That's what I think this all boils down to be honest with you. And I'm not going to disagree. A riled up Jackie, a riled up Evelyn, a riled up Brooke equals Basketball Wives. It just does. That's been the formula for years. That's why it has all worked. So if we keep these women riled up, boom, we got a show. Because otherwise, it was a little boring. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Those ending episodes, they were nice, and we did get some church, but at the end of the day, I mean, it was. I mean, there were some episodes I didn't even review. Won't nothing happening. A whole lot of nothing. Anyway, that's the truth of the matter. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. So anyway, Shaunie comes out after a commercial break, and she's there in red as the head HBIC in charge. I noticed that Jen switched sides, and Shaunie acknowledges that she has to watch what she says a bit because she's the first lady. All right. I mean, I was about to talk about Gizelle, but Gizelle came on as a former first lady, so she didn't really have to watch what she do no more. Anyway, Ev talks about not wanting Carl because that comes up, and their chemistry when they went down to the Houston. And the rest of the girls talked about how she seemed way happier being around Carl than Levon. Shaunie didn't ever think that Evelyn was in love with Levon, but more in love with how he treats her. Okay. Shaunie reveals that she didn't expect so much chaos when she started the show, and I'm like, you didn't? Because that was all it was when the show first started. So anyway, Jackie has seen the show grow, and she talks about being real. And if people come for her, then you're going to get the Jackie from 11 years ago. Brooke reveals that she's thankful for the platform, but that Jackie doesn't even understand. I love how she phrased it. Well, Shaunie, I'm real thankful for the platform. But, Jackie failed to mention that she doesn't understand why you are even here and that you should be doing a show called The Preacher's Wives. That might be a good concept. But from the way they'll probably take it, The preacher's wives will be fighting down to the pulpits. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know that we ready for that. Anyway, Shaunie reveals, that she does not entertain any negativity because she is flying above all the haters, all the haters. And Shaunie says, she's experienced this Jackie before. And Jackie's like, which Jackie? And Shaunie goes on and she says, the LA versus Miami Jackie. And she feels like, she has embraced Jackie and her kooky, crazy self. But to hear that she wanted to slap Shaunie, okay, and that Shaunie was hiding from her, and Brooke clarifies it was that Shaunie was hiding. Shaunie says she wasn't surprised, but she was shocked that Jackie thought that these people were going to be loyal to her and not tell Shaunie what was going down. And the look on each of the ladies' faces, because the camera panned to each woman, it was like, uh-oh, is we about to get a thank you for your services and get this lady fired on national television? But no, Shaunie said, I'm smarter than that. I'm just going to put you in your place, okay? So Jackie says, well, thank you, Shaunie, but half of that isn't true. And if she's going to slap somebody, she's not going to say it. She's just going to do it, okay? And I was like, was that a threat? Ooh, Phaedra. Anyway, she also reveals that British was the one that said those things. And interestingly, they use a clip of British at the awards. And I'm like, why didn't y'all just use a clip from British on the show? Anyway, there's a receipts showing a text thread. All of this is revolving around the poster, the billboard that showed Shaunie, Evelyn, and Jennifer, and then 3 of the ladies on Basketball Wives Orlando as for promo. And I guess maybe somebody British sent it to Jackie and said, you should have been on the promo. And then apparently it got back to Jackie that Brooke was pissed about not being on the billboard. And Jackie felt like Brooke should have been on the billboard. And Jackie says she thought that she didn't really care about being on the billboard because she says she's not getting paid to be on the billboard. Brooke has her phone out, and they're basically kind of like, they don't really settle this to me. I need to see who was really mad. Maybe both of them were mad. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe they were both mad they wasn't included on the thing. What y'all think? Quiet as it's kept, I don't know if I would be mad or not. I'm not a person. Okay, I'm gonna break it down for y'all like this. At this point in my life, I'm not the person that really needs to be out in front of anything. I don't. I really don't. Most of the stuff that I'm doing right now, outside of what I do here, is going to be behind the scenes type stuff. So the only thing I care about is, did I do am I doing the work that I want to do? And am I getting paid what I want to be paid so that I can live the life that I want to live and travel the way that I want to travel? Those are the only things that are important to me at this point, and loving my family, my friends, and that's it, right? Those are the things that are important to me, right? My real personal life, right? The TV stuff or any of the stuff that I do outside of that, I mean, it's great. I'm appreciative of it, but I'm not doing it because I'm trying to be famous. I'm just doing it because I love it, right? And I feel like as long as you're doing what you love, all the rest of those things is noise, right? It could be noise. Your gratification of getting social recognition and all of these things, that's just a part of the process. I mean, it's a part of what comes with it, but you can't live or die by it. That's what I'm saying. Shaunie says that at the end of the day, she doesn't have to prove anything because her name is on the credits, as I was talking about earlier. And that's factual, period. Dot. And all Jackie can say is, okay. Anyway, next, Britney and Cleana joins the show. Shaunie gone. She said, I ain't got time for these girls. Britney says she joined because she got the call to do it and felt like she would take the opportunity and learn a lot. Ev says she's always liked Britney before she joined and felt that it started off good, but was hurt that Britney was, because she was rocking with Britney when Britney decided to leave. Britney doesn't follow any of the cast on social media because she says that it's trauma and she shakes when she's watching the episodes. This is very odd to me, as I stated earlier, because Britney comes in with a lot of rah-rah that we apparently didn't see on the show. So let's not pretend like it didn't happen. She had rah-rah for Brooke as well and threw a drink. At what point did it turn into such terrifying chaos to you? If that were the case, in my opinion, why didn't you didn't come in like that? You came in guns blazing. So why now are you so shook? Oh my God, I'm so shook. I cannot believe the things that are going on the show. And in fact, the worst thing that happened was someone else threw a drink, i.e. Brooke, and someone else shoved somebody, i.e., the girl that you are defending with your life. Okay. So to me, I just don't get why you're so shook. I'm just, I get the shuddering and trembling when the show comes on. I can't take it. It was just like, girl, what? Fine. Okay. I maybe you got saved and delivered halfway through the season, and now you are not the same person. Listen, it happens, and that's fine too. I always tell you, I can wake up in the morning and change my mind. Fine, and you can too. But I'm just saying, it just seems so odd to go from such extreme to extreme, don't it? Okay. So anyway, that's why I have a harder time respecting Britney's journey on the show, not her as a person, her journey on the show versus Cleana's. Cleana been the same since day one. Truth be told. Anyway, Gizelle is asked, about her experience with Britney or something like that, and she said that she was asked what it was like working with the new wives, and she throws a dig at Britney because Britney had called her neutral, I guess maybe on social media or something like that, and she tells Britney, Brooke and I shouldn't even be friends because I was riding for you, okay, and I was going against Brooke, and I've always had your back, but you never had mine. All Britney can say is, dang, my bad, girl, my bad. Oh, eek, oops, ooh. So, Britney felt like she wasn't getting the same energy. I guess I don't know what she was talking about, but Britney's like, well, I pick sides. I pick a side. I pick a side. Pick a side. And the energy that's starting to rev up is the energy that I felt like she would really need to thrive on the show. But is it that she really doesn't want to turn into from Dr. Jekyll to Mrs. Hyde? I don't really know. But that's what she giving me. Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. Because Mrs. Hyde started coming out and she get the spitting. You know what I'm saying? Like not spitting, but she get the, get the rat-tat-tat-tatting. Okay. And I'm like, oh, now this is the Britney that I felt like I knew. Okay. Or I felt like we was gonna get. Maybe she don't want to be that girl. Okay. And that's fine too. I get it. Because I felt like Tammy had the same thing. She didn't want to be that girl no more. So Brooke tells Britney that they all tried to extend her grace, which I did feel like. Britney says she felt like she just had a different experience with the ladies. Okay. Why did Britney go back to North Carolina? She said her spirit started shutting down. And Brooke says that again, they gave her grace, even though she came off very fiery. And once they got past those moments, she was hoping that she could see that they were not her enemy. Again, Britney feels like she's getting different energy versus the Twitter thugging, and she's befuddled. She's befuddled because that whole side over there are Twitter thugs. And then things start to get heated with Britney going off about standing on business or something. I don't know what she was talking about. And then she goes at it with Jennifer, who calls her, and I guess Jennifer's like, girl, you're 100 pounds wet. And Britney was like, and you big for nothing. Now, if y'all could have kept it at this, okay, If y'all could have kept it at this, I was like, But I also kind of feel like Britney and Cleana know who to go after because I noticed that that energy was not given to Brooke nor Evelyn. Not really. And I feel like the easier target for them was Jennifer because Jennifer don't read fast enough. Okay. Because quiet as it's kept, Brittany and Cleana was eating Jennifer alive. Okay. Alive. Poor Jennifer. And I think that maybe Jennifer can rest on the fact that one, she's probably got job security. Two, she getting married. Three, she got other shows she can do. So she's like pretty much kind of set, which is the kind of person you want on the show, right? But you also want some of these other people that can read a chick down. Okay, I just wish they would try reading Evelyn or Brooke, but they don't really go that route. If you notice, so Brooke points out, well, girl, after the show ended, you went out and did interviews about and started talking ish about the OGs, but then in the same breath, you're thinking that things ended well. So she lets her know that if you're calling us fake Bs, then you also would be a fake B. Brittany can't even say nothing because she's right. She's right. Brittany is almost like two different people, okay? And that's fine. You can be Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, but just know that you are going to come off as being very confusing, okay, when it comes down to addressing your behavior. People aren't going to understand which Brittany they're getting. Now, Jackie is asked about Britney. She says that she thought that Britney was amazing. And Brooke is like, girl, stop lying. You did not think that this girl belonged here at all. Evelyn backs this up. Okay. They get to arguing with Jackie again. Okay. Jackie get to taking off her shoes again. Evelyn about to take off her shoes too. Cleana is like the irony. Okay. So Cleana is up next. The ladies are questioned. It's about, there's this question of like, well, where did she come from? Where did she come from? And Cleana is like, well, why ask it? Because it just comes off shady, which I agree. I'm not even going to hold you. I agree with her on that because Cleana was introduced to Evelyn and Jackie via Shaunie. Now, Evelyn was not at the event where Cleana was at. No, Cleana was at the next event that Shaunie had, or was it Shaunie or Jackie? One of the two, where Evelyn and Vanessa got into that huge argument, and Evelyn and Shaunie had to carry Evelyn out. I know for a fact that she was there. She was there. Now, in the next scene, when they're asking her, in the next group scene, when they're asking her, who are you and why are you here? Now, I don't know if maybe during the filming, the girls felt like, well, we didn't get a proper introduction to you. Maybe that's it. And because Jennifer says, well, this is how TV works. The audience needs to have it make sense. So she was just doing her job. So was she told by production to ask that question? Cleana says that's production's job to introduce me. I would almost have to agree because we, the audience, were already introduced to her, and so was Jackie. So in my mind, why didn't Jackie say, because she was at the following event at the roller skating rink or wherever it was, she was there. So she could have said, no, this is Shaunie. Shaunie brought her in. Shaunie betted her. She good. So then, Cleana says something about Jennifer being dumb. And Jennifer says, well, girl, I graduated with honors. And Cleana says, well, I got 2 degrees. And then she jokes that Jennifer can't be too smart because she keep getting scammed. Eating her up, baby. I felt like in this moment, if Cleana could show a bit more restraint versus trying to use her hands, which I can't blame her for coming onto this show and using her hands based on the show's history. I think she could go toe to toe with these ladies, with or without Britney as her backup. Because I don't trust Britney as a backup. I wouldn't trust, if I was Cleana, I wouldn't trust it. Because again, she could be Dr. Jekyll one day and Mrs. Hyde the next. The other thing that Cleana tells Jennifer is, girl, you might want to check those school accreditations because you're dumb as a bag of nails. I was like, oh my God. So Jennifer claps back and says, well, you might want to make the most of this moment because it'll be the last time I see you. Now, I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one. But that was getting eaten. But I ain't gonna lie, Cleana ate her up a little bit more. Okay. The Arizona trip comes up, and they talk about the shaman, and in terms of giving Cleana grace, we learned that it was Cleana who wanted to have a conversation with Evelyn. That was also interesting. And that's when I said that Evelyn felt like the newbies really set the tone for the season. Vanessa did come in hot with Evelyn. If you like Vanessa or not, it's true. Then Jackie and Brittany did get into it. Brooke did get into it with Brittany. Brittany did throw a drink at her. Cleana did push Jennifer. Now, whether or not they felt like they were so provoked they needed to do those things, that's a different question. But in terms of tossing drinks and putting hands on, those ladies snapped first. All right? But you just listen. You just never know who you can mess with. You can't mess with everybody. I'm going to let you know that now. More comes up about Cleana, and, it's revealed that Jackie called her a gremlin, for which, even as Jackie says, she tried to deny it, which, again, is a knock at Jackie's credibility here, at least, because the cameras do show that she called her a gremlin. Then she kind of backpedaled, and Punani popped a little bit by saying, oh, well, you a pretty gremlin girl. Yes, because that's a thing. Anyway, I don't know. Like, one of the things that I did feel like probably should have happened was that Cleana revealed that she shouldn't have pushed Jennifer. But when John tries to get her to apologize, she wouldn't do it. And I felt like John was trying to send her a message at that moment. Like, girl, if you can apologize, we can probably get you back in this show. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like this moment sealed her fate, because I was like, girl, you might want to show a little bit of contrition here, okay? Because I remember Dorinda not apologizing to Tinsley on Real Housewives of New York City, and I believe that is what sealed her fate and her being put on pause, i.e. fired, or whatever she want to call it, okay? And I felt like that's going to be the case with Cleana here. Because I don't believe that Jennifer will probably ever film with her again. And because she put hands on her, I believe that that could be the case, because Cleana does let us know that they were told not to put hands on each other. Was Jen being petty with, calling Cleana a hoe? She says that she was. And as Jennifer is trying to explain herself, Cleana keeps reading her, and Jen keeps asking John to make her shut up. But John says, well, the camera's on you. This is where I felt like John failed as a host. Even if you thought the camera was on her, you are here to navigate and moderate this conversation. As a moderator, it is still your job to get these things under control so that one person can be heard speaking at a time. When you fail to do that, I feel like you create a situation where one person really can't get their point across because the other person is still speaking over them, i.e. Cleana, and the camera was not only on Jen, it was also on Cleana. So I felt like, as a host, bro, you're failing us right now. I wanted to hear what Jen had to say in that moment. I can't blame Cleana for clapping back, but that's where John needs to come in as a host and ask for, like, hey, let's get this thing under control right now. We need to hear Jennifer speak, and then you can speak. The wig thing comes up, and basically it was, Evelyn stepped in because she saw Cleana roll up without her shoes and earrings and standing over top of Jen as Jen is eating her tater tots or whatever like that. There's a package with Jen that comes up, and it is revealed that she is not signing a prenup. Okay, she does not have a prenup, and she also reveals, which I would not do if I was her. I would definitely get a prenup, but she reveals that Christian makes more money than her. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't know what he do. Wealth manager or something like that, and I don't know what that means. Anyway, this is where it is brought up that Vanessa was looking into him. And John says, I don't know what it was that John, I cannot remember what he said. When he brought her up, Jen says Vanessa is a fraud and that she has 16 counts of forgery and stolen identity. But unfortunately, she's not there to defend herself. And I was like, now say what now? Tell us more about these 16 counts of forgery and identity theft. Now, this is sounding a little cray-cray to me. I hadn't heard that before. So, but this is the downfall, or this is the downside of you not showing up at a reunion. You can't defend yourself. You can try to defend yourself on social media, but the only thing that's going to count is the last thing people saw on the most public platform. Okay. It ends with them all toasting and having to say something nice about somebody on the other couch. And I guess we'll see where things go from there. Let me know what your thoughts were on this episode of Basketball Wives Reunion. With that being said, I need to go get dressed and hightail it down to the Fox 5, down to the DC. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Burke and she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her all her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?